I have to start over because I wasn't recording. Hello, fellow lovers of the liminal and the weird, and welcome to another video by Liminal Spaces. Today I'm going to be going over my science fiction library, and we will be looking at the letter B. So I've pulled all the things of interest down from the letter B. I left a lot of stuff, but I'll put up pictures of the shelves here so you can see kind of what else I have. But yeah, these are the things that I feel that I am the most interested in from my letter B collection of science fiction, starting with James Blish's A Case of Consciousness. Now, I've heard this talked about a lot on the Sci-Fi BookTube stuff that I watch, so I grabbed it, and this is an Arrow publication, and I don't really know Arrow very well. I think it's United Kingdom, and I've actually got, I think, 5 or 6 other James Blish published by Arrow, and I've never read any of it, so it's something that I look forward to checking out. I also have the novel version of THX 1138, which Ben Bova wrote based on the screenplay for the movie. I really liked this movie. I thought it was a great movie. In some ways I prefer it to Star Wars, which I know is blasphemy, so go ahead and get at me in the comments for that if you'd like. But I just, it's how my taste runs. I found this much more intriguing than Star Wars. I really enjoyed this movie. So hopefully this is a good novelization of that. And I've never read any Ben Bova, so it'll give me something to check out. I bought this for the cover. Never judge a book by its cover, but man, I really thought that was a cool cover with the weird shadow. I think after I got it, I realized that it was part of a series and it's not part 1. But I just had to grab it for that cover. This is a Penguin science fiction book by John Boyd, another writer I don't know anything about that I'm excited to check out. Now into my stuff that I've never heard of or heard anybody talk about, and maybe somebody has, and I just didn't notice, but this is called Purple 6 by Henry Brinton. Does anybody know anything about this book? The gripping, controversial novel of nuclear destruction. It's an Avon book. I don't know. I like the end of the world, so I figured I'd give it a look. Let me know if it's worth it, if you've read it. I've got a couple of books by this person. I don't know if I'm pronouncing their name right. Rosal George Brown. And this is Galactic Sybil Sue Blue, a sci-fi and sci-fi novel about the way out adventures of a mad mod heroine of the future. Sounds like late 60s. Sounds like it's right up my alley. If you guys know anything about this, please let me know. Oh, The Fuzz, vintage 1990. Looks like it takes place in the future of 1990. It seems like it's right up my alley. I'm going to check it out. Oh, I did. I brought 2 of these over. And it looks like this Sybil Sue Blue is a part of a series. Here's another Rosal George Brown, The Waters of Centaurus. And honestly, I loved that cover. It's a crazy cover. I wonder who it's by. This is Bartleby. He wants to be on my lap while I record this. He's a good boy. So this other Rosal George Brown that I have, The Waters of Centaurus, it doesn't say who did the cover art, or I'm not looking in the right places. If you know who did the cover art, let me know. It just says cover printed in USA. This is a Lancer science fiction novel, which I believe is also a United Kingdom publisher. Nope, New York. This is a Lancer science fiction publication, so apparently also about Sybil Sue Blue, so I'll have to check it out. I got some John Brunner. A lot of people talk about John Brunner, so I've grabbed a lot of it. I don't know if I will need every bit of it, but I've got The Day of the Star Cities. Was this the beginning of the world's end? And I love this cover. Cool looking cover. I know that his most popular is Stand on Zanzibar, which I have a copy of here. And that is a very thick science fiction book. It's like Dune thick. A lot of people swear by this. 650 pages long. So eventually I do want to give this a try, but I need to make sure that it's something that I'll really like at that length, because that's a heck of a commitment. This is something that I could check out a little easier from him. Now Then, by John Brunner. 3 chapters from an unwritten history book of the future. An Avon book. Really cool. I love the cover. If you've read any of these John Brunners, let me know if I'll like them. I know I've seen some booktubers talk about this one, The Traveler in Black. So that's one that I hope to check out. Cool cover. I also have To Outrun Doomsday. This is by Kenneth Bulmer. Another writer. Don't know. Lost on a Planet of Programmed Chaos. Let me know if you've read any of this and if I would like it. I also have Worlds for the Taking by Kenneth Bulmer. So I don't know which one of those are the best. Let me know what you think in the comments. The Ice People by Renee Barjavel. Apparently this is French, so I apologize for really destroying that name. Seriously. This is a book club edition translated from the French by Charles Lamb Markman. And it looks really interesting. Has anybody read The Ice People? If so, let me know what you know about it. An Alfred Bester novel, The Demolished Man. I've heard good things about this. It's never been cracked. I can only open it that much. That's how tight it is. It's a book club edition. And it looks awesome because there's a guy with a gun running on a man's brain with an eye in it. So hopefully it's as weird as the cover. If you've read this, let me know if it's something you think this channel would like. All right. We're in... Ow. My cat wants to put his claws right into my leg. Okay. The last bit I want to go over is Bradbury, and I absolutely love Ray Bradbury, so I have a huge collection of Ray Bradbury, so this will take just a second. I only pulled down the stuff I thought was super cool, so yeah, there's a lot of Bradbury up there that I didn't pull down. In the paperback, we'll start with a book that I'd never even heard of, Block and Bradbury, and what they've done is just picked their kind of favorite stories by these two authors. At first I thought they wrote a novel together, because it says on the front here, the two finest writers of sci-fi and horror team up to give you this fantastic, frightening, fabulous book. So I was like, whoa, this is a team up of Block and Bradbury. It's not. It's got some Block stories in it and some Bradbury stories in it. And they just kind of mixed them up. But still, very cool. Very cool. Just rare and weird. Ray Bradbury, Tomorrow Midnight, illustrated in comic book form. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to see that, but yeah, all of this is comic book. Super interesting. A Ballantine book, that one. All right, on to hardbacks. We'll start with my copy of The Martian Chronicles, which I absolutely love. It's in great condition. I know this isn't the first edition cover. This is a book club edition, I think, of the second edition cover. But the condition of this one is absolutely insane. It's just beautiful. So I had to have that for my collection. Of course, you've seen this. This is my copy of The Illustrated Man. I believe that it is an early printing. First edition, slightly later printing. It's got $5.95 for the price, and I know the early one. I think it might be $3 again, like iRobot. So it's not the first, but it is a first later. Why are you messing with the mic, dude? Get down. Jump. There you go. All right. This is a cool early one. It's called Twice 22. I don't know much about it, but they've basically just slammed the Golden Apples of the Sun and a Medicine for Melancholy together. And I doubt they put all the stories in. I think they took what they considered the best from those 2 volumes and slammed them together in this book. So I really don't need it. I think it came out in 1959. I don't need it, but I like it. So I kept it just because it's a Ray Bradbury that I didn't have. First edition copy of The Halloween Tree by Ray Bradbury. The book block is in incredible condition. The jacket has some rips and tears and a piece missing. But I'm super glad to have it. I like this cover a lot. Just a really neat copy of this book with great illustrations. The illustrations are by Joseph Mugnaini. If I said that name wrong, I'm so sorry. I've got a first edition copy of When Elephants Last in the Dooryard Bloomed, which I think is a take on the Walt Whitman poem, When Lilacs in the Dooryard Last Bloomed. When Elephants Last in the Dooryard Bloomed. Cool first edition. Stories from the late 60s to the early 70s. I've got a first edition of Ray Bradbury's poetry collection, The Haunted Computer and the Android Pope. Really nice copy of that. I've got a first edition copy of A Graveyard for Lunatics. Cool coffin on the front there with skulls in it above the Hollywood sign. And there's a graveyard. It's fun. Cool thing about my first edition copy is it's signed by Ray Bradbury in the most garish signature I've ever seen from him. It is inscribed to somebody else, not me. Somebody named Jack and Susie. But I just love that big old pink Ray Bradbury signature. So I grabbed it. Plus it's a first edition. I've got a similar first edition. These might have both been Jack and Susie's. Yep. This is also a first edition to Jack and His Family. Good Wishes, Ray Bradbury. So 2 signed first edition, later Ray Bradbury's. And we'll end off with 2 very strange ones. I've got a really interesting copy of the story The Toynbee Convector with illustrations by Anita Coons. I'm sorry if I said that name wrong. Very interesting looking book. That's just one of his short stories, illustrated. Very cool. And last but not least, they went and grabbed all of Ray Bradbury's dinosaur stories and put it together in a volume. And I love it. And it's very beautifully done. I can't tell if this is a first edition because there's no price on the dust flap. So it may or may not be a first edition. But look at the art in this. Just absolutely beautiful. All his tales about dinosaurs. Here's a dinosaur biting the guy's finger. See if I can... Yeah, there you go. Alright, if you watch this video to the end, you really like Ray Bradbury. And I do too, so I appreciate it. If you like this video, please click like. If you like this kind of content, please click subscribe because we're going to be making a lot more of it. Thank you so much for watching.